Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7. So we are back in black, whatever you want to call it. The Flash Season 7 finally premiered earlier a few days ago to not the most conventional of premieres, seeing that it was an episode that was supposed to be the third last episode of Season 6, but it did provide a few surprises and shocks to start us off and lead us into another season of speedster fun. Now, as per usual, there was a good amount to unpack from a premiere episode, and Eric Wallace, the showrunner for The Flash, is assisting us with that through an interview he did with Entertainment Weekly, or EW. Hey, EW, Eric Wallace, Entertainment Weekly. There's some synergy going on there, but yeah, he explains some of the stuff we saw go down and answers one fairly big question about a certain character, as well as teasing some stuff coming forward, and oh boy, some of you might be excited. So we of course will go over all of that and provide extra info and thoughts when needed. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various opinions and thoughts and theories and anything like that in the comments section down below. I'm always curious, so let me know. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and are looking forward to what's coming, why not drop a like on the video? Let's show some support for the new season of The Flash. But to start off, before he actually went to the proper question and answer or Q&A, Eric Wallace just straight up said this in regards to things that happened in the premiere for Season 7 in regards to a certain character. So Tom Cavanagh, who of course played Nash Wells in all the Wells, is still part of the show. I would just say that we've already seen there's an infinite numbers of Wellses. Just because they're all dead doesn't mean that should change. And Tom Cavanagh has more to do in Season 7, much more to do. So yeah, we knew he was filming, we knew he was on the set, but how they keep him on the show in like character-wise will be interesting to see. We do assume that he will be the actor that plays Ralph in that one scene that was teased to set up that character's farewell, or at least his absence. But yeah, let me know how you think Tom Cavanagh will be used going forward. Who will be playing? Is it Reverse Flash? Another Wells? Some mind thing? Let me know. But yeah, let's jump into this Q&A with Eric Wallace. With Nash sacrificing himself in this episode, did you view that as his way of making up for starting Crisis? Was this always the plan with him? That's a sub-theme. We don't really think about it overtly, but he does make amends for the biggest mistake one can possibly make, which is causing all of the worlds to die, essentially, and being kind of taken over by the Anti-Monitor. What he's doing here is he's taking, from my point of view, the greatest superhero in the Arrowverse, the Flash, and enabling him once again to do his job. There could be no greater way to honor and make amends than doing that. But also on a micro level, it's about showing Allegra that he can change and be a better person. That was really important because his death has an effect on Allegra moving forward, and it's a positive one, not a negative one. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nash's death impacts the team as a whole, but also like the people that weren't there, like Cisco and Kalen. Like, especially Cisco. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with it, and the trailer for next episode sort of gave us just a hint and suggestion as to what's going on there. One of the cool things about this episode is how it's about the new members of Team Flash, Allegra and Chester, really stepping up in the absence of the OGs. What can we expect from them moving forward? This was all on purpose because there are two new series regulars, Brandon and Kayla, who were just terrific. But in order for them to really become true members of Team Flash, everybody has to go through great tragedy. That's the unfortunate truth. Once they have gone through some tragedy, or true tragedy, which is the death of Nash Wells in the season premiere, now they understand what true heroism means. So moving forward, now we can begin to dig deeper into who they are as characters, how they came to be, what's their makeup, their loves, their likes. I'm very happy to say we have a couple of very specific special episodes that really focus in deeper on how these characters fit in with Team Flash, but how they also individually reconcile with the biggest problems, their pasts, because they've got some real problems they haven't dealt with that are going to crop up in Season 7. And how they rise above those challenges not only makes them better people and allows them to put ghosts in the past to rest, but it makes them closer to Team Flash and it bonds them closer to the rest of the Barry and company. Not too sure why it says the Barry. Is he an object? Maybe. Now, I think a lot of people sort of fine with Chester P. Runk. I think a lot of people like Brandon McKnight's take on the character. I think there is maybe some tiny issues around Allegra. I think that's maybe just how the character is written around Nash. Some people see her as like sort of annoying, but I think this is like the growth period we'll see with Allegra, see what happens there. And it needs to be pointed out, Chester P. Runk is Eric Wallace's favorite one of Eric Wallace's favorite characters from the comics, and Allegra was created by Eric Wallace in the comics. He created the character of Allegra Garcia for, I think it was Teen Titans or Titans, one of the two. So these two characters have a special place in his heart. So you would think that he's going to try and make everyone else enjoy them as much as he does. Should both the audience and Team Flash trust this artificial speed force will stick, or is that a concern moving forward? Having artificial speed is only a short-term solution. At some point, they're going to have to deal with what it means to not have a real speed force around anymore, because the speed force is dead. Creating an artificial one isn't always the best solution in the long run. It's a temporary measure. So he's doubled down on that. He said short term and then said temporary. So what's happening? Does this mean we're going to see some aspect where the normal speed force is reignited? I don't know if this information is going to come out by the time I watch this, by the time this video comes out. But there is a hint, I think, currently for what's going on. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. So I am very curious to see what they do going forward with where the artificial speed force does have a long-term thing, even though it says short-term here. But I've had my question marks on the artificial speed force. I don't like the fact that that would be just the new norm. I prefer them to maybe try and fix the old one. And by what Eric Wallace is saying here, it seems that they might be heading into the direction that I want them to go in, but we'll have to wait and see. Looking ahead, once we wrap up the dangling threads from graphic novel number 2, what's in store for Cisco and Caitlin in season 7? Danielle Panabaker and I had a conversation at the end of season 6 right before she was going off, and I pitched her what my plan for her character was. After she stopped laughing, she said, "That's going to be the most fun ever. I can tell you without any spoilers, what happens to Caitlin and Frost this season is just a delightful journey that is a constant of both humor and growth for both sides of the character." As far as Cisco goes, Cisco is going to face the biggest emotional challenge of his life. I can't really tell you what it is because it's pretty interesting, but let's just say the big bad of graphic novel number 3 will, gosh, this is such a big spoiler. As a result of an encounter with the first new big bad of season 7, Cisco's life is fundamentally changed, and he's going to have to learn how to either reconcile with it or deal with the ripples it brings in the rest of the areas in his life in order to continue functioning as a member of Team Flash. If he doesn't, then there will be consequences both for him personally and for the team emotionally. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? So Cisco's going to be affected by whoever the big bad is for the first half of the season once we get past the Mirror Master stuff. I am super curious now. Does this mean he gets some sort of powers back? Is he sort of like turned a bit evil? I don't know. Let me know your theories around this, because that's a bit interesting. Like he says, he doesn't want to, I guess he sort of does lean into spoilers there, Eric Wallace, but doesn't flat out give it away. So let me know what you think of that. Do you view this season's graphic novels as a direct continuation of season 6's, thus naming, graphic novel number 3 and number 4 instead of, 1 and 2? Correct. It's like we're telling a big serialized novel. Every graphic novel builds on the other. When I originally took over at the beginning of season 6, I had a 2-year plan story-wise with an idea of where I wanted to go should we get lucky enough to get an 8th season, which we did, because I wanted the graphic novels to build on each other. Which is why at the beginning of season 7, after we wrap up the Ava McCulloch story, the big bad of the first half of season 7 is a direct result of the events of the graphic novel number 2. That big bad couldn't exist without what Team Flash does at the end of Ava McCulloch's story, and also what Ava McCulloch does. It's a direct relation, and it's the same thing going from 3 into 4. Everything is connected because we're really telling one big story over seasons 6 and 7, and that is the story of how do you have a love affair and a marriage and a relationship when both people have equally important jobs. One of them is saving the world with superpowers, might I say. The other is saving the world with the truth as a reporter. That's really hard. That's what she said. That's really the story of seasons 6 and 7 when looked at it as a whole. They're very serialized and organic, even though there are some metas of the week along the way, including one that is going to bring particularly a blast from the past in graphic novel number 3. I'm particularly excited to bring back a big bad from the first 3 seasons of The Flash, and I hope the fans enjoy that person's return as much as I did, because it's just going to be awesome. And they do reply to, I have to ask, is it Zoom? And Eric Wallace goes, no. I can only say that because of the first 3 Speedster villains. Everybody knows I have a special place for Zoom in my heart. That's why I asked. Everybody loves Savitar, but I love me some Zoom and love me some season 2. I am determined at some point to bring Zoom back, even if it's only for a few episodes. I haven't figured out how yet, but I will do it. Give me time. We're going to hold you to that, Eric Wallace. We're going to hold you to that. Get ready for some Twitter stuff if you don't do it. But yeah, in regards to this whole thing with like the graphic novels and stuff, we assumed they were going to continue it. I think even at the fandom interview and stuff, or panel for the Flash season 7, I'm pretty sure he suggested that as well. We know Godspeed's going to be one of them, or at least be a part of one of them, one of the two. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. In regards to Zoom, there is still some question marks about Zoom's history, you know, post-Crisis, because like apparently his army came through a random portal. They didn't come from Earth 2, so where'd they come from? Where did Zoom come from? I wouldn't mind if they explored that. I think a lot of people wouldn't mind if they explored that. And I mean, it's Zoom. Everyone loves Zoom. I don't know why he says everybody loves Savitar. Is that meant to be a joke? Because I'm pretty sure the majority of people prefer Zoom over Savitar, I think by a good amount. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe more people like Savitar. I have no idea. The interesting thing about Eva is how, as you mentioned at the end of last season, she didn't have a personal grudge against the Flash, unlike previous big bads. Are you keeping with that trend in graphic novel number 3 and number 4? I'd say yes and no. Mainly yes, because of the big bads for graphic novel number 3 and 4. We've got some new characters, right? I don't think it's any spoiler to say at some point this season we might just meet the real Godspeed. But the way he fits into Barry's life, I think, is going to come in a more unexpected way as far as the other big bads for the season. Let's just say we'll continue to introduce a major big bad that has not been seen in previous seasons. I think we can accurately say that. As far as their connection and to why they come into conflict with the Flash, there just might be a secret connection in Barry's past that he is unaware of. So I am very curious to see what they do with Godspeed, and whether that's like relating to the connection to Barry's past, because in the comics, like August Hart or Godspeed witnesses Barry getting hit by the lightning. That's like a big thing there. So I am very curious to see how they do everything, whether Godspeed's identity changes, or post-Crisis August Hart existed in the present day. He's not from the future, which I think is what I could see them doing that retcon, because I thought it was always weird that they'd stick August Hart in the future. So they might do that retcon. We'll have to wait and see what they do there, but I'm excited to see how they set up all these big bads for the 2 different graphic novels, and how they play out and how it affects Barry and the team. And then finally, this is the end of the interview. Eric Wallace was asked, is there anything else you want to add? To fans of Barry and Iris, last year, Barry and Iris spent a lot of time apart. There's a conscious effort this year, especially in the back half, to bring Barry and Iris not just together, not just stronger than ever, but to have the big bads of the 2 sides of the season actually be villains of them as a couple, not just of the Flash separately. It creates stories that have more of Candace and Grant together in really fun ways. Now, when you look at that, you could argue that maybe that's suggesting that the big bad is someone that connects with them personally, but maybe it's just it connects both of their storylines together. Like, I know you could lead into a Cobalt Blue sort of situation, which it potentially could be, but we don't know how the story's going to line out. Like, I've been asking for Cobalt Blue since season 2. I'd love to see him, but I'm sort of losing hope, you know? I know sometimes you can say better late than never, but sometimes things just never happen because story-wise they don't, you know, line up that way. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not 100% sure exactly who they're going to be outside of Godspeed, but I'm excited to see, you know, what it ends up being. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what I went over in this video, any theories and stuff. Just general thoughts, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.